reading from the letter of Paul to the Colossians. Brothers and sisters, if then you were raised with Christ, seek what is above, where Christ is seated at the right hand of God. Think of what is above, not of what is on earth. For you have died, and your life is hidden with Christ in God. When Christ, your life, appears, then you too will appear with him in glory. The word of the Lord.
Our second reading on this Easter Sunday is taken from the letter of Paul to the Colossians. We have been reflecting on how the encounter with the risen Lord leads us to a deeper understanding of the mystery of the resurrection. It is not the other way around. It is not the case that we first understand the mystery and then we will see the risen Lord. In the experience of the disciples, they failed to understand the teachings of Scriptures. But what made them understand the Scripture was when the risen Lord came to them, met them, encountered them. That was the experience of St. Peter. How this moment of meeting the risen Lord changed him and made him now a witness to Jesus Christ and the power of the forgiveness of sins that could come only from our faith in the risen one. The second reading gives us the experience of another great apostle, Paul. We know the history of St. Paul. A Pharisee by training, a pious and even belligerent Jew. He knew, or he thought he knew, the meaning of Scriptures. And based on his understanding of Scriptures, he persecuted the followers of Christ. And he was determined to do that because he trusted in his so-called understanding of the Scriptures, the understanding provided to him by his tradition of the law and the prophets. And based on that understanding, he was able to justify even this rather brutal, inhuman participation in an act that would have eliminated many Christians. But what was crucial? Remember the story. On his way to Damascus, the risen Lord came to him, spoke to him. The risen Lord came to encounter him. And there, that encounter shed light on the Scriptures. St. Paul acquired a new understanding of the Scriptures and a new understanding of the Messiah, thanks to that encounter. So now, in the second reading, St. Paul could tell the Colossians, our lives are really hidden with God because Jesus, the risen one, sits at the right hand of God. So our lives are with Him there. We should be living in God. We should be concerned about things above, meaning we should be concerned about things of God as we continue being focused on our day-to-day life, on our work, on our families, on our quest for truth, justice, all of these so-called worldly affairs. We should, as Christians, do all of these with a proper understanding. We know we are with Christ. So we engage in the world, but with minds and hearts already residing with Jesus in heaven, already united with the Father in heaven. Saint Paul is able to say this with firmness and understanding because he was gifted with an encounter with the risen Lord. With that encounter, he can now talk authoritatively about the resurrection and the implication of the resurrection on our lives. So again, my dear brothers and sisters, just like Peter and Paul, we should not rest only on academic or intellectual notional knowledge. We can understand Jesus and the mystery of the resurrection better if we are attentive to His coming into our lives. The personal experience that He gives to us of His risen life will help us understand our faith and the scriptures that we read.